One thing about me, I love my little internet boyfriends. You know who they are. They're like the 8 dudes that live in your DMs that you've maybe met once or twice, but they respond to every single story that you post. And they'll send you heart eye emoji, something really flirty, and you're always just like, back, angel face, smiley face, just heart in the message. I will never date these men. I will never interact with them in person. But just that little flirtatious exchange, it just feeds that little dopamine monster just enough to keep me going.
Oh my goodness.
I don't want anything more from them. I don't want anything less. I need them to stay exactly where they are, which is little tiny robots that essentially live in my phone to pay me compliments. Low effort compliments. Their story reactions, I know that. But if they're hitting me up, I go, that one's fire. I bet my real life crush is gonna like that. That one hit different because this guy said, wow, heart eye emoji. And I love it. I'll never get sick of them. I'll keep them forever. Like little tiny presents in my phone.
Now do you understand why women will be in relationships and then also be posting these pictures on Instagram that they probably shouldn't be posting? It's literally for the attention, the validation, the dopamine. Why have one man when you can have 1,000 men?
Women are good to you when they see value in you. Women are good to you when they see value in you. Women are terrible to you when they see no value to you. I actually think men are nicer. Men are nicer naturally than women in terms of we might see someone we don't like, but we'll still try to be courteous to them. You know, there might be a woman that wants us or something, and we're not going to be mean to them. Women are just, they can be mean. And I say that, I mean, they are. I mean, again, I'm not experiencing it, I'm seeing it. There's a difference, okay? Experiencing and seeing are two different things. And so I see, you know, especially when they don't want someone or something, how they discard people. And so you got to know this. Women are not innocent. They're not special. They're none of that, okay? They're not special until you decide they're special. They're not valuable until they provide you value. And so I'm telling you, I've been telling you this.
Welcome to Economics 101, the Modern Woman edition. Let's break it down. When it comes to evaluating value, the key factor is effort. What energy was put into creating or achieving something. This is where the modern woman gets interesting. Nowadays, it feels like there's almost no effort applied to earn or maintain her special status. Back in the day, women had clearly defined roles and responsibilities. They took care of the household, allowing men to focus on battling the unforgiving market. It was a barter system that worked. Men provided for their families, and women maintained the home. Simple and effective. Fast forward to today, and it's like the rules have completely flipped. The modern scene? It's almost like a twisted fiction. Women now seem to expect everything to be handed to them on a silver platter, buoyed by an inflated sense of suffering that's hardly backed up by any real hardship. They've crafted a narrative where they're the ultimate prize, yet don't see the need to contribute meaningfully. And when it comes to lending a hand to one another, forget it, unless it's directly beneficial to their bottom line. So here's the deal. Value is all about effort and contribution. The modern setup. It's a case study in how little effort translates to a perceived high value. What used to be a straightforward exchange has become a complex, self-serving game. And that's the crux of the problem. Effort, in the traditional sense, seems to have taken a backseat.
These modern women are, 1, promiscuous, 2, influenced by feminism, so they think that we're in a partnership and everything is equal. No, we're not in no partnership. This is how our relationship goes. God over man, man over woman, woman over children. God dang, woman, I'm above you. And not only that, you want me to be above you. You want a man that's taller, stronger, makes more money, more competent. So if you want me to be over you, I'm going to act as if I am. And I'm going to treat you like that, which that is a good life. You don't gotta pay for any bills. The house is good. We go on vacations. Life is good. Just rub my back, speak kind words in my ear, and cheer me on so I can continue to go out there and support.
It used to be a simple life. A good life, but not anymore. Today, many find themselves trapped in the Western matrix of feminism, living in a failed experiment that tests what happens when modern women with no real merit demand control. But here's the silver lining at its core. All of feminism and what it represents is just performance art. Sure, it's wreaked havoc and stirred up a storm of demands, but tantrums and empty demands can't change human nature. They definitely won't dismantle masculinity. In the grand scheme, no amount of feminist theatrics can erase the essence of what it means to be masculine. Men who stay true to their core values and refuse to be swayed by the latest social trends will find that the enduring strength of masculinity remains unshaken. So while the world spins with its latest social experiments, remember that true value and authenticity come from within, not from the latest performance art.
Would you say that women have a really bad habit of enabling self-sabotaging behavior in their peers?
Yes, and they do a really great job of enabling other women to do terrible things so that they don't get their men. And women sabotage each other so they don't get high value men. So like when I got into a really healthy relationship, that's more on the traditional side.
Yeah.
All the women hated me and stopped being friends with me. They were like, this is terrible for you. Like, get out of this. This is toxic. And I'm like literally waiting for marriage. So excited about my future.
What are some of the terms that they told you?
They told me he was toxic. They told me I was being weird and trad. I was trying to be trad and that I was a bad girl and like I shouldn't fall for that. I should what happened to my career? Why am I not being a boss babe? And I was like, what do you mean? They're like, you've lost a lot of weight. Like, I don't know if that's good for you. Like, maybe you should try to gain the weight back. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, who are you guys like promoting this?
Congratulations on that, because obviously weight loss is always very difficult. And we live in a very, especially for women, it kind of sucks because we rarely tell women the truth, especially when it comes to their body, because of their feelings, right? We have this whole body positivity movement for females, and I think it's very destructive, which makes sense as to why there's more fat women than fat men. Because at the end of the day, a fat woman can still find a guy.
Minions! Tonight, we steal the moon!
Yep, guys, this is where the West has ended up a hive mind of feminism that sidesteps the real challenges men face. Women flock together for perks like a 20% raise just for spending time on TikTok. But if anyone dares to revive traditional values that led to stable unions, they're quickly ostracized. Women are biologically wired to protect their reputation, even if it means bulldozing over a family provider. In the Western world, it's practically a treasure hunt to find an honest woman without hidden baggage. One peek at her phone and you'll likely find Chad and Tyrone in the DMs, along with a female network pushing her to ditch traditional roles. For the married guys, this lesson comes hard-earned. Imagine this: you fall for a Western woman who seems different, she shares your interests, claims she wants nothing but your love and reliability. Fast forward 5 years, and you're slogging through a grueling job, dreaming of a warm meal waiting for you at home. Instead, you walk into a messy house with an empty fridge and find your wife lounging on the phone, which you're paying for. She's caught up with single influencers spouting nonsense about how being a homemaker is shameful, and suddenly your diligent efforts are dismissed. Now, she's demanding you split chores 50/50 despite your 12-hour shifts. You argue, but she flips the script, criticizing you for spending one night a week with friends to unwind. She parades the mantra of my body, my choice, insisting she sacrifices too much and deserves more. It hits you harder than a Tyson knockout. The woman who promised to be the backbone of your household now resembles Brie Larson giving her disastrous Marvel farewell speech. As the relationship crumbles, you discover her phone, Chad and Tyrone still in the DMs, and a slew of forums teaching her how to walk away with half your assets. Confronting her, you realize she's become a staunch feminist, rejecting responsibility and blaming you for trapping her in a fictional cage of her own making. A century ago, this might have seemed like a dramatic tale straight out of fiction. Today, it's just another everyday reality that men are forced to navigate, one grand Larson moment after another.
You know, in today's society, I think it's cruel and unusual punishment to be sentenced to 5 years in prison with rapists and murderers and child molesters for missing a court date. Because that's basically what happened. I missed a court date.
You missed being a father.
Because to this day, I still don't have proof.
Once you don't show up for court,
right,
Mr. Mansur, yeah.
I guarantee you there's
you
thousands.
understand that now, that in this country, you got to show up for court.
Well,
if you got to walk there.
You're right.
You need to be there.
Okay.
And then you plead
guilty. So for every
guilty.
American boy out there that goes to Florida on spring break and hooks up with a girl, and the girl goes to Texas, and the boy goes back to Massachusetts, and there's a petition to show up.
Yes.
If he can't fly from Massachusetts to Texas, he's automatically the national.
He better find a way. Mr. Mansur, you are not
God.
his father.
Oh, man. 5 years in prison. Dylan, I'm sorry, bro. This is why. This is why I did what I did.
But this is nothing I made up. The lab did.
You made it all up.
No, I did not.
Well, those results apparently
I don't know
are made
any
up.
of those people on that form.
Oh, my God.
This is clearly the most shocking news we've ever gotten in this courtroom.
Oh, my God. She should be convicted of some crime.
No, I should not. I didn't.
That is fraud.
Mr. Manser,
That is fraud.
I know you're upset. I know it's overwhelming. I need a moment with Dylan because I want to make sure he understands. Do you want to find out who your father is?
Of course.
Miss Sear, do you know?
Yes, ma'am.
You know who his father is?
Yes, I talk to him still.
Listen.
Get away from my son.
He apologized.
And under another breath, he's calling me a liar.
You cannot stand there and really suggest that you cannot comprehend why this man would not have any type of ill feeling, frustration, or regret as it relates to anything involving you. 5 years in prison. And then I say, do you know who your son's father is? And you say, yes, I'm still in touch with him. That is a really huge pill to swallow. Dylan?
All right, buckle up for this ride. It's a tough pill to swallow, but let's break it down. In the feminist-run states, the law has become like a VIP pass for disgruntled 304s everywhere. Seriously, you can't walk down the street without tripping over a guy who's been cancelled or tossed in prison, all because the system has been hijacked to treat these women like they're starring in their own tragic soap opera. Men have been battling life-threatening situations and hostile environments since the dawn of time. We've faced the fires of hardship, built our resilience from scratch, and learned that nothing comes easy. It's like a never-ending fight club where the prize is survival, and we've been elbowing our way to the top for centuries. But as soon as Western women realized they'd have to tackle the same burdens for their fanciful goals, they labeled it a hate crime. Seriously, if it doesn't fit their scripted dystopian drama, they throw epic tantrums until everyone folds like a deck of cards. Do we see plus-sized male mannequins strutting their stuff in stores? Nope. Do we get a special month to celebrate what's between our legs? Hard pass. Are there scholarships for men's special talents? Not a chance. Yet we're the ones who built the very institutions that women now exploit to push their agenda. We made history through sweat, rejection, and sheer willpower. And what do these modern women want? They want us to hold the door open for them after they've swung it wide for every Chad and Tyrone in town. The irony is as thick as a double-stacked burger, and just as satisfying. Imagine this men working their tails off to build a world, only to watch it get turned into a playground where the rules are rewritten on the fly. It's like being the chef who spends hours crafting a gourmet meal, only to have it served at a buffet where everyone gets to complain about the menu. So here's the spicy twist while we're out there fighting the good fight. These ladies are out there in their own drama, demanding everything while contributing nada. Keep on hustling, gents. This world might be upside down, but at least we're the ones keeping it from falling apart.
Sitting out here struggling to get this in my car. Men are walking back and forth. No one is trying to help me. They don't make real men anymore. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not all men, because there are good men out there. As a woman, like, you don't see men holding doors anymore. They don't help anymore. They rush and sit down on trains and buses before women and pregnant women and elderly are sitting down. It's just a hot mess.
You're struggling because you chose to, and let's face it, this is just the latest chapter in the epic saga of disgruntled women chasing clout. They're out here cooking up elaborate sob stories like it's a new sport. But here's the kicker, even if there were no men around to lend a hand, because apparently helping out is now a criminal offense, how on earth could you point the finger at them? Men are getting sued just for trying to be decent thanks to the feminist playbook. And guess what? The Western court systems are often right there, playing along like a bad sequel to a reality show. So when you see these dramatic outcries, just remember they're often as empty as a Hollywood set. It's like a real man stumbling upon one of these situations and thinking, oh, that's Rich, he's not shaking his head in pity, he's probably just chuckling, knowing it's another case of self-inflicted drama. The truth is, this is all part of the grand comedy of errors you've created. You set the stage, you played the part, and now you're just reaping the laughs from your own script.
Okay, let me ask you this. Who appreciates being simped on more, men or women?
I think men.
That is such a freaking good question, by the way.
Because, and I'm going somewhere with that. If you get something all the time, it has no value. Okay? The reason why the woman needs to care more is because we're already operating from a deficit as a man. You're already getting simps hitting you up. You're already getting, opportunities. You're already getting guys willing to spend money on you, protect and
But that's
provide
not
for you
love.
for nothing more. Hold on, but the point is that women don't appreciate chivalry anymore, which is why I said chivalry is dead. So to overcorrect for this crazy discrepancy in 2023, the woman must care more about the man because, quite frankly, I hate to say it like this, women are terrible people when they have leverage. They don't appreciate things because they're given everything for simply existing, and I don't blame you guys for it.
Absolutely. This is the exact sentiment many men have been voicing for years. OnlyFans queens and feminists clearly missed the memo on this one. Men have a solid grasp of value, while it seems like every woman on this side of the aisle is completely lost when it comes to understanding it. The concept of earning your keep is a foreign one for many in today's world. We see folks who've been handed everything on a silver platter growing up to be societal anchors. They stroll through life, never questioning what it takes to actually contribute, believing they deserve everything just because they showed up with a pulse and a pretty face. Take a glance at society today, and you'll see women crossing their arms, radiating a royal sense of entitlement. It's as if the environment has been twisted to make every used-up chick think she's the star of a fairy tale, eagerly awaiting her Prince Charming. Weddings are a prime example of this fantasy land. Most Western women believe that a ceremony lasting just a few hours should cost more than the average guy's entire yearly salary. They demand a dress so expensive that it might as well be a piece of couture art, worn once and then stashed away. The punchline, they insist on it being white to symbolize purity, despite the not-so-secret past that often follows them like a shadow. Then there's the grand affair standing under an arch decked out in enough floral arrangements to rival Versailles. The Western wedding is practically the embodiment of the feminist regime's ideals, a charade of past innocence masking the lack of genuine investment in relationships. On the flip side, the male contribution is a stark contrast. The groom simply rents a suit and tie, paraded around like he's about to preside over a small kingdom. The whole thing is a spectacle where the guy in the corner, glass of scotch in hand, is the unwitting pawn in this farcical display. And it's not just weddings. Valentine's Day has turned into a day where women expect to be showered with appreciation simply for sharing a bed. Christmas bills. Those are practically a gift-wrapped burden for the husband. Father's Day usually means the dad of the year gets breakfast in bed, which he paid for himself. Throughout human history, men have rarely received the kind of undeserved praise Western women seem to get month after month. It's like a never-ending cycle of accolades for just existing. And let's not forget the classic example, the whole princess narrative, where every day is a chance to be celebrated for simply being themselves. It's a classic case of the tail wagging the dog, where the real value earned through effort, sacrifice, and genuine contribution is overshadowed by a parade of superficial adoration. So here's to stepping back and seeing through the smoke and mirrors of modern entitlement and appreciating the real, hard-earned value in life.
Makeup is the most accepted lie in society.
So reshaping your body and like working out and giving yourself tone muscles, that's also changing your appearance.
That's not a lie though. That's you're actually making
You're
a change.
You're accentuating your body.
You're conflating exercising and getting fit to makeup, something that can be put on and removed.
Couldn't you compare your beard to makeup since it hides your jawline?
That's true. Yeah, that is true.
No, not really.
How come?
It's definitely different. So you're comparing a beard to makeup?
Not directly. I'm not saying they're the same thing. I'm just saying you probably having that beard makes you a little bit more flattering looking in the same way that makeup might make a woman look more flattering.
Why do guys have such an issue with makeup? Wouldn't they want something that makes like their girl or their girlfriend that look better? Like wouldn't they?
Let's ask the chat. Chat. Do you prefer girls without makeup or with? So, with makeup, without makeup.
Makeup? Oh, where to start? It's like the Swiss Army knife of modern mind games for women. They'll layer on their war paint, turning their faces into something more cartoonish than human, all while claiming it's a personal choice and not a part of some grand scheme. In the feminist world, this ritual of slap and dab has been so overused that it's less about personal expression and more about maintaining a facade of sexual viability. It's almost like they're playing a live-action role-playing game where the goal is to become a caricature of themselves. They'll insist they're doing it for their own empowerment. But let's be real, if that were the case, they wouldn't look like they're auditioning for a Cartoon Network. The irony is rich. While they argue about breaking free from traditional beauty standards, they're double-downing on a practice that's about as original as a 90s sitcom rerun.
I personally don't think that the top football players in the world should be paid as much as they do. I think it's ridiculous.
Literally, the men fund our leagues and we will still whine that we don't get paid enough. And honestly, when athletes do shit like this, it makes all of us look bad. Because instead of being thankful for the league that we have, we go out and whine and complain about the pay.
I mean, as I said, I'm not whining. You sound like you're maybe doing a bit of whining. But like personally, I don't think we should be whining. I think people should be organising. If you want a pay increase, join a union, get out there and fight for it.
Should the women footballers get the same as the men?
Ultimately, like, it's not going to change. It's not going to change unless they organise.
Let me ask you this. On talent alone, for example, as a yardstick, the US women's football team were beaten by a group of under 15 boys from Texas, right? Who were very good, under 15 boys, but their under 15 boys team beat them, I think, about 8-9-0 or something. So why should women footballers, who are clearly nowhere near as good as their male counterparts, just technically, why should they get paid anything like as much money?
Well, I mean, you know, it sucks, doesn't it, that, like, as a woman, yeah, okay, you play volleyball. I'm a surfer. I absolutely love surfing. It's very hard for women to build up a body strength. This is something that I've learned very much the hard way. And so,
surfers, by the way, there is equal pay.
Yeah, there is. And actually, you know, it's one of those sports where...
Can a woman be as good as a man or not?
Well, it's different. It's a different sport, really. It's not, you know, it's the same sport, but it's very different watching a woman surf than it is watching a man surf because, you know, the average male body is different from the average woman, like, woman's body for all these...
But is there any actual technical reason why a woman can't do with a surfboard what a man can do?
Yeah, there's loads of reasons. Like, it is about the upper body strength. It's about, like, the way that the body is built.
So should women surfers at the elite level get the same as men?
But, like, again, I think it just is different. Like, it's a different kind of game, and people watch it.
You're shaking your head.
No, I just think when we start making the same amount of money as the men, then we should get paid the same as the men. I don't hear the men whining about OnlyFans models getting paid more than them. I don't hear the men whining about models getting paid more than them. Kendall Jenner is the highest paid supermodel. Where are the male supermodels? But whenever men dominate in an industry, women will just...
If complaining were an Olympic sport, women would be taking home gold medals left and right. Seriously, when it comes to failing in various industries, they've set the bar high. Many of these woke activists will spend hours crafting poorly worded protest signs and parade them around like they're holding the keys to the kingdom. Yet, when you ask them how often they apply that same energy to watching women's sports like basketball or soccer, they just stare blankly, as if you've asked them to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. Here's the kicker: they often have zero interest in the very systems men have built to make the world function smoothly. We've got pilots, doctors, and other professionals who are stepping into roles where they're woefully unqualified just to make a point. Then, when things go wrong, like a plane crashing or a patient dying, they're quick to blame the sexist design of the equipment or the male-centric control panels. It's like watching someone crash their car and then blame the steering wheel for not being designed for their unique grip. Men, on the other hand, are drilled from a young age to understand that underperformance comes with consequences. If a guy makes a mistake, he's out of a job. No excuses. We're raised with the idea that actions have repercussions, and if you don't pull your weight, you're shown the door. So, it's really no surprise that the Western world seems to be falling apart at the seams. A bunch of soy boys have handed over the reins to these so-called experts who can't even drive straight, and now the everyday guy's left holding the bag. He didn't make the decisions that led to this mess, but guess who's paying the price? It's the hard-working, responsible men who are left to clean up the chaos created by those who can't be bothered to put in the effort.
Men lie about what they have, and women lie about what they are. And among the two lies, I'd say that the female lie is extremely dangerous, because if I lie and say I have a Rolls-Royce car, I can get one. But if you lie and say that you have a classy owner, or that you're a respectable woman, and you're not, you can never change that. Yeah. And so women are often concealing. And the real damage occurs when you get fooled into, like, locking down a woman like this in a marriage. You marry her, which is a cardinal sin, and then you find out too late that this is who you're actually dealing with.
Absolutely, you've hit the nail on the head. No one can really put a stop to the feminist performance art in Western countries, and that's why so many men are choosing to walk away. But here's the silver lining: this self-indulgent performance art, wrapped in a shiny package of faux quality, serves as an early warning system. It's like a neon sign that says "Warning, deceit ahead," keeping men from getting their finances tangled up in the mess. Men faking it until they make it is a gray area, but it's part of the journey to success. It's a strategic move, a stepping stone on the path to achieving real goals. On the flip side, when a woman lies about her body count, that's not something that changes with effort or time. It's basic science, a static number that doesn't magically adjust with a few motivational pep talks or new age self-help books. The reality is that the numbers are what they are, and no amount of feminist spin can alter the facts.
See that flower? That flower was in a small pot in my living room, but it outgrew its surroundings, so I transplanted it here in the garden.
Seems like it's doing okay.
Oh yes, it's flourishing. Now, when I pulled the flower out of the small pot in my living room, it resisted a little, you know. It tried to hang on by its roots. I had to force it out.
Because you thought it would do better out here. In the world, right?
No, because I thought if I left it there, it would stop growing.
It's time to find a new space to grow. Men who've chosen to go their own way understand one fundamental truth: the Western woman is about as useful as a hammer without a handle. From the get-go, value demands energy. Anything worth your precious time has had a significant amount of effort poured into it. When it comes to these modern women who try to use men as personal ATMs, it's better to let them stew in their own mess. They've put zero effort into becoming anything of value themselves. They're not building anything, they're just sitting around waiting for someone else to foot the bill. Instead of buying into the myth that these women are somehow deserving of your time or resources, focus on things that actually lead to guaranteed results. Invest your energy in areas where you know you'll see a return, whether it's personal growth, meaningful relationships, or achieving your goals.
The courthouse.
In the end, you'll look back and be grateful for the choice you made. You'll thank your past self for having the wisdom and discipline to avoid the nonsense and self-pity that so many get caught up in. So ditch the dead weight and invest in what truly matters. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found value in this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Leave a comment and share this with others. See you in the next video. Until then, take care. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found value in this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Leave a comment and share this with others. See you in the next video.